Good morning, friends. On the today's lecture, we are going to continue with the last content of your syllabus, that is economies of scale. In the earlier lecture, we studied about what are the internal economies. But now we are going to focus on internal diseconomies. As I earlier said, की जे काही तुमचे इंटरनल फॅक्टर्स आहेत ते अप टू प्रॉपर युटिलायझेशन इफ यू used it, then it will be fine, it is favorable for you. But if you are overutilizing it, then it started giving you the negative effects. That is nothing but the diseconomies. So the points are same, but just you have to write down the negative side of it. What is the internal diseconomics? We had seen in the last content, the firm enlarges scale of production, it reaped the advantage of the internal economies and experiencing increasing returns. But if the firm keep expanding again and again continuously, it will eventually exhaust its internal economies, and beyond the certain limit the stage of diminishing returns are set in. Means if you are using that tools up to the optimum level, and apart from that you are again want to utilize it more and more, then definitely it gives you the negative returns or the diminishing returns. This stage of decreasing returns is associated with internal diseconomies. Diseconomies is nothing but disadvantage. In the other word, internal diseconomies are limit the large scale of production which as follow. The first one is the managerial diseconomies, second one is the marketing diseconomies, third one is the financial diseconomies, fourth one is the technical diseconomies. Here the first we started with the managerial diseconomies. When we studied about the economies, internal economies, we said there if you hire the separate labor or the separate manager for the separate department, gives you the intellectual suggestion for the decision making. But the negative side of the managerial diseconomies, or you can say the managerial overutilization, is that the complexity of the large management, you are hiring the number of managers, so it is very complex to manage them. Complexity of the large management, coordination, supervision rise with the expansion of scale and operation of a firm. The reason is being there is the limit to the human capacity. The management can manage the unit efficiently up to the certain limit, but beyond it the unit become unwieldy and unmanageable. Ineffective supervision, lack of communication, lack of personal contact, problem of coordination will arises. म्हणजे तुम्ही तुमच्या प्रोडक्शन युनिटसाठी लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ मॅनेजर हायर करत असाल तर इट विल बी डेंजरस फॉर द मॅनेज टू सुपरवाइज and to coordinate them. Means it set the diseconomies after the certain limit. The second point is about the marketing diseconomies. What was the marketing economies? Means at that time you are enjoying the goodwill, you are getting the raw material at the cheapest rate because you are purchasing in a bulk quantity. But after a certain point the diseconomies is set in. There are some products which have the smaller market. Consecutively, there is no scope of the large scale of operation. For example, jewelry making, furnish making, tailoring, etc. produce good which suit the individual taste. Therefore, the large firm is trying to manufacture such a product which required the personal attention may find out the difficult to the market their product. Inability of the large firm to secure adequate quantity of raw material from of a market also gives the right to the diseconomies. Means the fluctuation of a demand also affects on the negatively on your production unit. Means the marketing diseconomies up to a certain or the optimum utilization of enjoying your goodwill in the market, it set in the diseconomies. The third point is about the financial diseconomies. Means in the financial economies we study if you have a reputation in the market, your financial resources you easily available, you can raise the capital by issuing the shares and debentures. But after a certain period the diseconomies is set in. Means the lack of financial resources may also create problem. It retards the growth of large firm. A large firm is required the huge investment for the expansion, but if it failed to raise the required fund on time, on the adequate quantity, the entire production schedule may be adversely affected. Means if you are getting the financial resources and you are using it again and again, it might be turned into the bankruptcy. Okay, the next one is the technical diseconomies. A large firm with the large plant and the machinery enjoyed the technical economies, where enjoy the technical economies if they make the optimum use of that capital equipment. But if the firm is under the utilizing the installed capacity or operating beyond its capacity, then the maintenance is arise. म्हणजे एका बाजूला टेक्निकलचा फायदा आहे की तुम्ही बाय प्रोडक्ट्स तयार करू शकता, तुम्ही डायव्हर्सिफिकेशन ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट करू शकता, तुम्ही स्पेशालिटी इन प्रोडक्ट करू शकता. येस, यू आर राईट. बट इफ यू आर ओव्हर युटिलायझिंग दॅट इक्विपमेंट, देन डेफिनेटली द डिसइकॉनॉमीज विल सेट इन अँड विच अरायझेस द मेंटेनन्स कॉस्ट. म्हणजे ह्या गोष्टी आहेत की ज्याचा जर पुरेपूर वापर तुम्ही केला नाही तर त्याचं काय होणार आहे तुम्हाला, तर निगेटिव्ह इफेक्ट्स तिथं तयार व्हायला सुरुवात होणार आहे. मेंटेनन्स कॉस्ट अराईज होणार आहे, तुम्ही जे काही इन्व्हेस्ट केलेले पैसे तुम्हाला त्यातनं रिटर्न्स मिळणार नाहीत. म्हणजे ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी तिथं बघायला मिळतात. म्हणजे जसं आपण बघितलं की इंटरनलमधले जे काही पॉईंट्स होते तेच डिसइकॉनॉमीजला ही लागू होतात. म्हणजे दोज पॉईंट्स समटाईम्स अफेक्ट्स यू, म्हणजे अप टू द ऑप्टिमम युटिलायझेशन इट गिव्स यू द पॉझिटिव्ह रिटर्न्स, बट आफ्टर द ओव्हर युटिलायझेशन it started giving you the diminishing returns. This is all about the internal diseconomies. Okay, managerial diseconomies, marketing diseconomies, financial diseconomies, and technical diseconomies. Now the last content is all about the type of external economies. In the earlier lecture I explain the concept of external economies. What is the external economies? External economies is nothing but are those economics like reducing the cost of production which shared by all the firms or the industry. The rise as the result of expansion of our industry as a whole. It called as the external because the development of the external firm such as localization of the industry, discovery of the new products, cheaper raw material, construction of the new railway line, etc. create such an advantage of all the firms in the industry in the external economy. It should be noted that as a common to all the firms in the industry irrespective of their individual size. Thus they are the function of the size of a industry. Now which are the external diseconomies, or first we have to study the external economies, means external benefits or the advantage. External economies, as stated earlier, are those economies which share by all the firm in the industry and crop up the result of expansion of the industry as a whole. The first is all about the economies of concentration. When the industry goes in the particular localization or the concentration takes place, it gives you to rise some common advantage to enjoy all the firm for a industry. For example, the localization of the textile industry in the Mumbai, jute in Kolkata, tea in Assam, West Bengal has created the several external economies which are shared by all the firms. म्हणजे एखाद्या एरियामध्ये जर तुमची कंपनी एस्टॅब्लिश झाली तर त्या एरियाचा तुम्हाला फायदा होतो. म्हणजे तिथे एक तुम्ही डॉमिनेट, आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल आपल्या साताराच्या बाबतीत बघा की महाराष्ट्र स्कूटर नावाची एक मोठी फर्म होती विच वॉज एन्जॉईंग द पब्लिसिटी इन दॅट पर्टिक्युलर area. Thus, if you looking for the Assam, the tea industry is there. If you looking for the jute, the Kolkata jute industry is there. Means you are enjoying the power of or the economies of concentration because you are working in that particular area. So you got a goodwill in that particular area. And also the other things is easily available to you like a skilled labor, financial institutions, provision for the better mean of a transportation, communication, cheap and the better power resources, the growth of the main industry stimulate the growth of subsidiary. All these economies are arise because of several production unit are located in a one area. The second one is the economies of information. With the growth of industry, many association and forum are formed such as the trade association, chambers of the commerce, etc., which enable the firm to interact the common platform and tackle the common problems like voice their grievances. Besides, the research work can be undertaken in the jointly. The scientific, technical and the trade journal can be published and statistically technical and other market information can made readily available to all the firms in the industry. Means if you are expanding the production, you got various information regarding suppliers, regarding price fluctuations, regarding government policy, you are enjoying these things. Next one is the economies of specialization. With the growth of industry, disintegration of the process of production is possible and specialized the firm undertake the different process. Means here की एक्सटर्नल इकॉनॉमीचा एक फायदा होता की तुम्हाला स्पेशलायझेशन म्हणून सुद्धा तिथं गुडविल मार्केटमध्ये एन्जॉय करता येतं रिगार्डिंग एखादं प्रोडक्ट जे काही आहे. मग इथं काय सांगितलं बघा, अंडरटेक द डिफरंट प्रोसेस टू कनेक्टेड विथ it is the undertake the connected with the production of the good. For example, the Mumbai and Ahmedabad where the several cotton mills are there, specialized establishment undertake the different process such as ginning, spinning, weaving, dyeing, bleaching. म्हणजे एक लक्षात घ्यायचं की एखाद्या एरियामध्ये जर तुमची कंपनी एस्टॅब्लिश झाली तर तिच्याशी रिलेटेड तिथं लागणारे जे काही सप्लायर्स आहेत ते सुद्धा तिथंच एस्टॅब्लिश होतात. आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल बघा की एखादी रबरचं प्रोडक्शन असणारा मोठा एरिया असेल तर तिथं रबर फॅक्टरी लगेच लागते. रबर फॅक्टरी तिथं लागली की तिथंच लगेच टायर इंडस्ट्री सुरू होती. टायर इंडस्ट्री सुरू झाली की बाबा त्याचे डिझाईन्स वगैरे करून देणं त्या टायर्सवर, किंवा ज्याला आपण काय म्हणतो रिमोट टायर्स वगैरे करून देणं, तर ते फर्म लगेच तिथंच चालू होते. म्हणजे तिथं आपल्याला काय होतं की ड्यू टू युअर इंडस्ट्री सम सप्लाय काय आपण म्हणू शकतो की काही त्याच्यावर बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री जी काही आहे त्याच्यावर अवलंबून असणाऱ्या कंपन्या ज्या आहेत त्या सुद्धा तिथं तयार व्हायला सुरुवात होतात. सो you will easily get the availability of the raw material, transportation, suppliers, or you can say marketing agents you can easily get. Means this is all about the external diseconomics, where we study about the economies of concentration, economies of information and economies of specialization. For that they gave the example of Mumbai and Ahmedabad. आता हा जो काही मुंबई अहमदाबादचा एरिया आहे तो कॉटन इंडस्ट्रीसाठी खूप जास्त फेमस आहे. त्यामुळे मोठमोठे कॉटन इंडस्ट्री इथे एस्टॅब्लिश होतात. मग आता तिथं कॉटन इंडस्ट्री असेल, कापड तयार करणारे उद्योगधंदे असतील की लगेच तिथं गिनिंग, स्पिनिंग, वेविंग, डाईंग, ब्लिचिंग म्हणजे फॅब्रिकशी रिलेटेड हे जे काही उद्योगधंदे आहेत तर हे सुद्धा लगेच तिथं आसपास सुरू व्हायला सुरुवात होतात. स्पेशलायझेशन ऑफ दिस टाइप्स ऑफ ऑब्वियसली बेनिफिट द एंटायर इंडस्ट्री बाय द वे टू रेज द इफिशियन्सी अँड फॉल इन द युनिट ऑफ कॉस्ट ऑफ production. Next one is, the next content is external diseconomies. That is one paragraph only. In the common knowledge that when industry in the particular locality expand beyond a certain limit, then the disadvantage are set in. This disadvantage are referred to as the external diseconomies. For the excessive localization of the industry result to the stiff competition amongst the firm to procure the various inputs like raw material, labor, capital and power. एखाद्याच ठिकाणी तुम्ही कंपनी टाकली तर तिथं स्टिफ कॉम्पिटिशन अराईज व्हायची शक्यता सुद्धा जास्त असते. तुम्ही एकाच एरियामध्ये कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन करायच्या बाबतीत तुमचा हेतू एकच असतो की बाबा रॉ मटेरियल अवेलेबल होऊ दे पटकन, ट्रान्सपोर्टेशन फॅसिलिटी अवेलेबल होऊ दे पटकन, परंतु तिथं कॉम्पिटिशन अराईज व्हायची शक्यता खूप जास्त असते. आणि एकदा का कॉम्पिटिशन अराईज झालं की डेफिनेटली मग तिथं प्रॉब्लेम ऑफ सप्लायर्स, प्रॉब्लेम ऑफ ट्रान्सपोर्टेशन्स अराईज व्हायला सुरुवात होतात. जसं मुंबई वॉज वेल नोन फॉर द कॉटन इंडस्ट्री, पण आता तिथे इतके कॉटन इंडस्ट्रीज आलेले आहेत की प्रत्येकाला रॉ मटेरियलसाठी वाट बघत बसायला लागते की मला कॉटन कुठून मिळतोय. तर शुगर इंडस्ट्रीच्या बाबतीत सुद्धा तसंच बघा ना, शुगर इंडस्ट्री एका एका एरियामध्ये स्थापन करायच्या का तर रॉ मटेरियल अवेलेबल होईल, शुगर केन अवेलेबल होईल म्हणून. अरे पण आता इतके इंडस्ट्रीज झाल्यात की ऊस कुठं पाठवायचा हा शेतकऱ्याला प्रश्न आहे आणि कारखानदारांनाही तोच प्रश्न पडलेला आहे की ऊस आणायचा कोणाचा. म्हणजे ही एक समस्या तिथे निर्माण होते. कॉन्सिक्युटिव्हली the price of all these inputs are rise and the cost of production is goes up. Besides that, the overcrowding in the particular area also causes the shortage of power, labor, raw material, transport, space, accommodation. All these external diseconomies increasing the average cost. म्हणजे एक लक्षात घ्या, प्रत्येक गोष्टीला दोन बाजू असतात. एका सर्टन लेवलपर्यंत इट गिव्स यू द पॉझिटिव्ह रिटर्न्स, पण एका सर्टन लेवल नंतर इट स्टार्टेड गिविंग यू द निगेटिव्ह रिटर्न्स, अँड दॅट इज नथिंग बट द इकॉनॉमीज अँड डिसइकॉनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल. दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द लास्ट कंटेंट ऑफ अवर सिलेबस. where we study how after the particular point or the particular certain period your production unit started giving you the negative returns, whether you are in a short run or you are in a long run. You saw that your total production starts declining, not as compared to the inputs. म्हणजे इनपुट्सच्या प्रमाणात तुमचं आउटपुट नंतर नंतर कमी व्हायला सुरुवात होती. का सुरू होती तर त्याच्यासाठी इकॉनॉमीज अँड डिसइकॉनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल आपण बघितले. त्याच्यासाठी आपण काही एक्सटर्नल इकॉनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल होते तेही बघितले. त्याचबरोबर इंटरनल इकॉनॉमीज होते की जे कंपनीच्या आतले घटक आहेत. इट इज द इंटरनल पार्ट ऑफ अ कंपनी अफेक्ट्स positively and apart from the proper utilization or the over utilization is affect negatively. Next one is the external economies. External economies means some factors out of your firm affects positively as well as negatively on your production unit. This is all about the economies of scale. Internal economies is there, technical economies, managerial economies, marketing economies, financial economies, risk bearing economies. Next one is the internal economies. Diseconomies are same like that managerial, marketing, financial and technical. And last one is all about the type of external economies, where economies of a concentration, economies of information, economies of specialization. Okay, this is all about your business economics. Thank you so much.